Hi everyone, it's Vicky here today and I am designing for Hip Kit Club and I am using the 2020 June kits. So I have a couple of photos here of my husband and dog walking in the fields and I thought it was pretty cute. So I printed off a couple of them. They're slightly different and I wanted to put them both on the layout, and I wanted to use this lovely rainbow paper from Pink Fresh Studio. So that's sort of how the layout's going to look. I've got the cut file there, which is a subscriber cut file from that you can get on the store, and it's a free cut file from the store, and it says fresh air and has some clouds and works perfectly with the rainbow and the picture. And yeah, I'm very happy. There's no green in this rainbow, which I have quite a bit of in the photos, but I counteract that with some green embellishments. So I'm just going to cut this rainbow from the paper. So all 5 strips are going to get cut off there. And I'm going to arrange those on the page and they'll be stuck down there. So I'm just sort of deciding where I want to put them at the moment. Okay, so I quite like the idea of that. Obviously the white on white for fresh air I'm going to have to change because that's not working for me. So I pull out the Colour Philosophy Summer Vibes ink, which is in the colour kit this month from Prima, and I just put some onto a piece of packaging and then spray some water, and I'm just going to use it just like a watercolour to paint the word fresh in that blue. So the blue matches the first colour in the rainbow that I just cut out. Not exactly, but pretty close. Okay, so I've just done fresh, need a bit more to do air. And yeah, that's super simple to do. A nice way to watercolour without having to get out your watercolours if you've got an ink handy. Always possible to do. Okay, so that's done and it matches in nicely. Those ink pads are great actually, they're stackable and they're magnetic, so they stay together. It's really cool. It'd be nice to get, I think there are 6 colours altogether looking at the photo on the front of the packaging, so it'd be nice to get the other 3 at some point. Okay, so I'm just going to dry the ink that I put on. It doesn't take very long, but I wanted to outline it with some black Sharpie just to make it stand out a bit more, so I needed to dry it. So in a second you'll see me doing that. So I'm just rearranging the rainbow because it got all mixed up. I realise that's too low, move it up, and that's better. So I'm just going to stick the rainbow down. Now I don't put much glue on because my intention here is to stitch through it. And I don't actually do that, and you'll see that in a second. But the reason I didn't was because I went to do it and realised I didn't have any black thread left. I'm completely out of black thread, so I need to get some more, but it just meant that I couldn't put the black stitches through. And I really wanted to, because in a moment I'm going to outline fresh air with my black ultrafine tip Sharpie. So I wanted to match up with that, but yeah, unfortunately I couldn't do that. So it's a bit of a shame, but we move on and find other ways to do things. So there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to trim off the manufacturer's strip there, and this is where I'm putting on my outline. So I've just got, as I said, an ultrafine tip Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw around each letter, and I had to make sure that the ink was dry before I did this, because it would have just smudged and run into that and looked a hot mess. So yeah, that's why I wanted it to be completely dry before I did it. Okay, and this is just going to make that stand out just that extra little bit onto the paper. And yeah, I'm quite happy with how it turns out. I wish that I could have had the stitching to go with it, but you know, you can't have everything. And there's, you know, dark areas in the photo, so I thought it would just make that pop a bit more. So this is where I decide to draw a line on each rainbow piece, just with that same pen, to simulate the stitching. It's not the same, but it just pulls that black into the background as well. Okay, so now I'm going to back my clouds with some vellum from my stash. I didn't want to make them white because it would cover up that rainbow completely behind them. So I thought by covering them in vellum, I would still be able to see the rainbow through, and that made me happy. That was what I wanted. So now I'm going to back the whole cut file with foam, and you don't have to watch this entire process. I do cut through, but it was a labour of love. I just literally put foam on every single part of that cut file. And I kind of wish I'd done a different colour foam, because there is a little bit of a yellow yellow shadow on my final layout photo, but it's not too bad. Okay, so there we go. That's just reassembling again. So I'm going to pull out some embellishments that could work with this, I think. Oh, yeah, okay, so I'm just taking a bit of that foam off because where it overlaps the photo, I want to put some foam on the photo. So I just took that little section off so that I could do that. There. So that fits under there. And then that other photo is going to go on top of the other cloud. So it doesn't need foam where the cloud is, but it does need foam around the edge. There we go. So that works quite well. Okay, so now I'm going to pull out some embellishments, and these are this lot of embellishments here are the exclusives from the main, no, they're not from the main kit, they're the exclusives from the possibly embellishment Pocket Life kit. So there's just a few green ones. This is where I add in the green touches just to pull out from the photo. And I'm going to stick my cut file down because I'm happy that that's going to go exactly where it was. So that's not going to move now. So it's just going to help me to make sure that when I'm putting everything else down, I don't put this out of place. Okay, so I'm sticking the photos because they're definitely going there too. And now I'm going to start to add my embellishments. So there's a little green circular embellishment there with a camera on that I'm going to put there, and a tag behind the photo. So those are the green pieces that I'm going to add. And then I'm going to pull out the, I think the puffy stickers. Yeah, that's the puffy stickers, and they're from the embellishment kit. And a few flowers on there. I always have to have some florals, even when it's a boy layout. And those hearts as well, which are pretty cute and match up with the rainbow really well. And this is from the Pink Fresh die cuts from the main kit. That was a floral there. And here there's a little tab that says "Let's Walk." So I'm just going to stick that in there as well. Or "Let's go for a walk," I think it says. Okay, just going through. This is nearly finished actually. It's quite a simple layout. The cut file does most of the talking here. So I'm going to put some sequins on the page, as we've got lots of sequins and they match really well with the rainbow. So I just play about with those a little bit, sort of almost tone on tone for those. And I'm going to stick them down. I just got this jewel picker recently, and so it's much easier with sequins to use that. I wish I'd had one years ago. I've always seen them and thought, no, I don't use enough sequins or jewels, but actually I'm so glad I bought it because it makes a big difference. There we go, so that's the final layout. I hope it gives you some inspiration for the cut files and also for the kits that we have this month. If you have any questions, please do shout out. take a look at the close-ups, and I will be here again soon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Vicki for Hit Kit Club. Bye bye.